The whole universe should be enlightened with your desires. Your desires should be so intense that they should emit out the pure vibrations of Mahakali Shakti, which is the pure desire of attaining the spirit. That's the real desire. All the other desires are like mirage. You are the people who are chosen by God. Especially first to express your desire and then to achieve it. And by intense desire of purity, you have to purify the whole world. Not only the seekers, but even those who are not seekers. You have to create an aura around this universe of desire to achieve the ultimate, the spirit. Without desire, this universe would not have been created. This desire of God is the one that is the Holy Ghost, is this all-pervading power, is the Kundalini within you. Kundalini has only one desire, is to be a spirit, and anything else if you desire, the Kundalini doesn't rise. Only when it knows that this desire is going to be fulfilled by somebody who is facing the seeker, it is awakened. If you do not have the desire, no one can force you. For your ascent, it is important first of all to have no desires, to create desire in your kith and kin. This is the first principle of establishment of Mahakali power. But you try to purify your desires away from the worldly problems that are facing you. So you expand it more, then you start thinking, Mother, what about the problem of our country? All right, give me the map of your country, finished. That's more than sufficient. Then purify yourself. The desire that you have, you leave it. And once you are purified, that area will be covered through your attention. It's very interesting. When you get over it, then only you can throw light. But if you are inside, you are hidden by that. Your light is hidden, there's no light emitted. You are rise above that desire. Every time you get a desire, you rise above it. So your light is emitted on that wider problem that you are facing, which you think should be solved by me. These are all my headaches which you are taking on yourself. You have to do only one thing, is to become the spirit. That's all. It's a simple thing. The rest of it is my headache. Now the problems that should take your desire on the collective should be very different. To substantiate your purity, to be fragrant with your purity, your attention should be on the other side. Now you are not facing me, you are sitting with me facing the whole world. See, the whole attitude will change. The attitude should be, what can I give? How can I give? What is my mistake in giving? I have to be more alert. Where is my attention? I have to be more alert towards myself. What am I doing? What's my responsibility? You must desire that you should be pure. You should be pure desire. That means you should be the spirit. That what is your responsibility to yourself? You should desire that your responsibility to yourself should be manifested, should be complete. Every one of you is worth the whole universe. If you want to rise to that height. Universes of universes can be thrown away at your feet. If you want to rise to that height, to that magnitude, that is within you to prosper. But those people who still want to live on a very low level, that we should keep our attention purely for the sustenance of our pure desire. Desire comes from your heart. And you are so built that your Brahmarandra is also the heart. If you don't have a clean heart, this won't keep clean. If you see on the Sahaja Yoga style, the sun line is the right side and the moon is the left side. On the moon line, one can desire but cannot act. Apart from that, on the moon line, if you go too far, it can be destructive. Because if you sit in the house doing nothing, and also these days there's unemployment, say for example, no work, then you start thinking too much. And this thinking is just a desire, energy working out, no action. And without the action, this energy can become very destructive. That is why we find that people, they say that empty mind or is the devil's workshop. Where people do not act, when the action doesn't take place, then it can be quite destructive. So the balance has to be struck. And the balance is that we should desire and act. So, a balance has to be struck where you have the Sushumna working out. Now the Sushumna Nadi is the one where one would say is the equator. Is not equator, but is the axis of the Mother Earth. The axis of the Mother Earth is the Sushumna, and that has to act. And when it comes to that axis, it is the one that balances. In the same way, in human beings, the axis is the most important. That's the main principle of life we have got, is our axis. We have to stand on our axis. Those who do not stand on their axis, stand more towards the left or towards the right, are capable of complete destruction. Because either they will be destroyed by too much of right side or too much of left side. So our axis has to be properly dealt with. Now those people who do not have a proper axis can have problems of different chakras, of different kind of quality in a person. A person who stretches his axis too much, puts back his head like this, is a person who is very right-sided and creates problem with his ego. And the one who absolutely bends down, like a slavish person, also is a person who goes towards his destructiveness. Now there's a big problem between these two types of people, one trying to dominate another, and when they start dominating another person, they actually destroy themselves as well as destroy the ones whom they are dominating. One has to understand that what is the best within a human being is his axis. And everybody has an axis, and one must respect the axis of every person. In Sahaja Yoga, I don't know you by your faces so much. I know you by your chakras, by your Sushumna, what sort of a Sushumna you have. If you have a deep Sushumna, I know you as a deep person. If you have a superficial Sushumna, I know you as a person with a very superficial type of a Sushumna. And even if you make up something by sort of being very nice or good or talking about Sahaja Yoga or knowing too much about Sahaja Yoga and saying things which will baffle normally anyone as if you are masters of Sahaja Yoga, I know how deep you are. So the depth on the axis is more important than anything else. Your axis has to be very deep. Now you will say that, Mother, the axis is the same as it is. So how can it be deep? So in the axis, as you see, is made in human beings, is like a 3.5 coiled paper-like thing. And the inside of it is the Brahmanadi. The Brahmanadi is a very, very small little, we can call a very, very hair-like thing, where only a hair like Kundalini can pass through. But when the person is deep, this Brahmanadi is bigger, and all the rest of them, which are coiled into each other, are smaller. While the people who are not deep, their outside, what you call the foldings, are bigger than the inside small thing. Now such people could be apparently very dynamic, may look very intelligent, may look very smart, may look to be very good looking, or whatever it may be outwardly. But inwardly they are not deep. Inwardly, if they are deep, their whole attitude is beautiful. They are very joy-giving people. They are very joy-giving. And the more, if you meet a person of another kind, he may look joyous, he may try to give you joy, but the joy won't be really that deep. It would be like a joy killing. So it is important for us to make our axis deeper. And that is where we lack the proper assiduity, the proper effort we have to put in. Now some people have automatically very deep axis.
And some people have very, very, what should you say, a very constricted type of the axis. This axis has to be grown. Now when you come for my puja and all that, I do expand it, I agree. But it is a temporary thing. To retain it at that point, one has to work at home, in the collective also. One has to work very much at home with meditation. But it should be done seriously. It should not be just a joke, to be frivolous, to be stupid. That's not the way. It should be done very seriously, in the meaning that it is a devoted task you have taken. It's a meditative thing. It's a prayer to God. We can call it, it's a puja to God. It's to be done with that reverence. Because reverence is the key of achievement. If you have no reverence about yourself and no reverence of others, then it cannot be done. But first you must have reverence for your own life. What am I doing with my life? Where am I wasting it? Why should I waste it? Why should I be deep? After all, there must be some purpose of my life. Am I serving my purpose? Am I doing that? All these things, if they pop into your head, then you will understand it's very easy to fight out your ego. Because normally on small, small things people fight. I have seen that in Sahaja Yoga also, people fight on things like, it's so useless, absolutely useless. To me, it sounds stupid to even mention the way people fight over small things and quarrel. But a deep person, even if he doesn't speak much, even if he doesn't show off much, even if he doesn't sit in the front line, he expresses himself through his depth, because I can work out better through that. So to develop this, one must meditate. Important thing is to meditate. Every day, every day, every day. You may not eat your food one day, you may not sleep one day, you may not go to your office one day, you may not do anything that you are doing every day, but you must meditate every day. That's an important point to develop the central constricted part into a bigger area. Now, when that happens, that you start developing it, the first thing you will notice about yourself, that you do not care for any comfort. You're not bothered about any material thing. Whatever it is, you are above it. You just don't bother your head. Let it be. You just don't want to put your neck into a thing where you do not belong. You just get out of it and you think that, oh God, this is too much for me. I just don't care for it. So your whole attention now moves inward. When the attention starts moving inward, then it expands more. This is the inner part, which is called as the Brahmanadi, and starts expanding and expanding. This widening comforts you. That's the comforting thing. And that really makes you feel so comfortable in any circumstance, in any position, in any lifestyle. And you do not want to have any other comfort. And this one has to develop through meditative effort. This balance comes through our depth, and that depth has to be improved. Not through just by talking about it, by talking about Sahaja Yoga, but actually seriously doing meditation, actually seriously doing meditation.